Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the cost of trains and can you get a train set for your layout that doesn't break the bank. And so what we're going to show you today is sort of how to mix old and new together to come up with a great set that doesn't cost a giant amount of money. So as we all know, Lionel trains are very expensive these days. Buying sets in the catalog, you can run up to $3,000, $4,000 depending what the set is, and you get all the different cars and everything else. So the costs are very high, and it turns a lot of people off to the hobby. So what we're going to look at today is there a way using some new stuff and some stuff off the secondary market and combining them together, and can you come up with a nice set that really has all the features on it and doesn't break the bank? And that's what we're going to be looking at today, so let's check it out. So what we've done here is I picked up a couple of pieces and for this train set here, and this train set right here, as you see it, costs total for all the pieces you're seeing right here about $620, somewhere around there. So pretty reasonable. And this is a MTH Premier, and it is PS3, so it is not just an old PS1, it's up-to-date modern PS3 engine, great detail, which we'll talk about in a second, and then some passenger cars that go with it, which are actually new cars. So those are Lionels, or what used to be MTH's, wood-sided passenger cars. And I've made a great little excursion train right here that looks fantastic, runs great, and for just over $600, I have a great train set. And this is especially these kind of sets right here. If you can combine and make these kind of things, right, are great, especially if you have a smaller layout that maybe only has smaller curves. And you can't handle those giant trains that cost like thousands and thousands of dollars. And I actually prefer some of the smaller trains. I actually won't go any more over 4 drivers, on the wheel sets. So I'll do, whatever the combination is on the front and the rear, but pretty much 8 is my max anymore. I won't do bigger than that because they don't really look great even on my 72 curves, and they're just too big, to be honest with you. And so I prefer like the 6 and 8 combinations, and like Pacifics, Berkshires, and stuff like that, Mohawks, over the big giant stuff anymore. And quite frankly, it's saving me a ton of money. So, but let's take a look at this engine first, and then we'll look at the cars. As I said, this is an MTH Premier H3 consolidation. The reason I like this one so much is not only because of the sort of the paint scheme they have on it. It's Pennsylvania Railroad, obviously. They have a great tender paint striping in here, and they've got the pinstriped drivers and stuff like that, which look great. But these MTH Premier consolidations have a lot of great detail. There's a ton of whistle detail up here and things like that. They're just awesome, and I love the tall smokestack on this particular one. So that's one of the reasons I got it. Now, I've been searching for one of these, and they can be expensive, right? I've seen them in just by themselves to be like $500–600, but I managed to score this one for $3. So as I said, if you are patient, you wait, you can find stuff at train shows or on the used secondary market, like all the online places we're used to. Eventually you can find something like this, right? So $300 for a PS3 H3 consolidation. The only thing I had to do with it when I got it is it was all dusty, right? Had some like little, I don't even know what it was, some kind of a water stains or something, in different spots, right? Just from its age. But all I did was I took some of the Begone cleaner from JT's Mega Steam, and I just wiped it down, vacuumed it all off. It's perfect. Finish is perfect. There's no marks on it. And it's great, okay? And it works perfectly. I've had it running around the layout, and it's got all this great detail, and it's just a great little engine. So this is my used part of my train set that I came up with. So let's take a look at the new part. train set is this 2-car passenger set. So these are the wood-sided passenger cars. These were originally MTH models, right? That Lionel purchased the tooling for these, and now they own them. But this was a set that they made. They actually made 2-packs of these. So this is just one of the 2-packs. And that's the thing. You don't have to buy every single car of every single passenger set all the time. That's the other thing, right? I just wanted to make a nice train that wasn't going to break the bank. So this is a nice little excursion set. And it just has 2 coaches that it's pulling, right? And the great part about these cars are you don't have to worry about having, a beginning car like a baggage car and then a coach car and an observation, because these are kind of like just like full observations with the same 2 ends on it, right? So you can use them in any position, and that's what's great about these cars. They also have fantastic detail on them, right? They're just amazing in their detail. This one has great Pennsylvania lettering. It's got these great orange colored windows going down the side. It's gold striping and everything. And then it's actually got the correct green trucks on it, which is awesome. And so, yeah, so I picked these up at Nicholas Smith, and they were $304, I think it was. So a great price. That's, for if you search for these brand new cars anywhere, you're going to find they're probably listed at I forget, it's $399 or something like that, like $400, right? So Nicholas Smith always has like some of the best prices out there. If you haven't shopped there before, you should give them checked out their site and stuff like that. But yeah, so I was just looking for a pair of passenger cars to tack on to the engine here. So I just did a browse up on Nicholas Smith's site, and they had these in stock, so I went up and just grabbed them. And I didn't buy both packs because they made 2 packs of these with they're exactly the same, just different numbers on the cars, right? But I'm like, I don't need 4, right? And that's how you can save money, right? You don't need to have the biggest, longest thing in the world to have a great train set. This is just 2 cars being pulled by this little H3, and it's a great excursion set, right? Just as if like you went to the Stroudsburg Railroad or Wilmington Western down here, and it's just pulling a couple cars, and that's all you need, right? So this is a fantastic looking little set that cost just over $600. And so for full command control and DCS PS3, so you can't beat that in my opinion. And this is just my point that you don't have to spend $3,000 on every single train that comes out. So let's take the example of the Dreyfuss Hudson set that just came out. If you bought the Dreyfuss Hudson, which was around, even if you got it at the pre-order price, it was still like, $1,500 to $1,600 just for the engine. And then all the cars, right? You're at, $3,200, $3,500 for that set. And it's a giant set, big, long 21-inch passenger cars that may or may not work on your layout. And, of course, we all know the paint colors really were kind of off, and the striping and all of the other issues they had with it. But it's a lot of money. And for the cost of that, I could have made... how many of these sets could I have made for that, right? If I just go on the secondary market and try to find things. So the key is that you do have to do searches, right? Stuff is not necessarily readily available, but if you do searches at train shows and stuff, and you just think about, hey, I'll grab this engine, and then I'll start looking for some cars to go with it, and that's all you have to do. And it's actually kind of fun, because then you come up with the engine, you're like, okay, let me see what kind of cars that I could match with this to make a nice little set. And that's how you can make a set for very low cost comparatively to today's trains, right? So $600 for a nice little train set is pretty much as low as you're going to get today for full command control and things like that. Now, if you go back to conventional control, then you can save even more money on these sets. But for me, this is a fantastic little set. And yeah, so that's kind of the thinking that I'm sort of like gearing towards now when I'm purchasing trains. When I first started back in 2010, I really, kind of bought almost like every legacy engine that came out at that point. And I've since changed my sort of like thinking on that. And what I do now is basically I look at the trains, I say, is this really something I'm going to run a lot and really enjoy, or is it just a nice to have and I can pass on it, right? Because I think a lot of us start getting into that mindset with the built to order that, oh, if I don't get it now, I'm never going to find it again and it's going to be more expensive, so I got to buy it now type of thing. And I kind of fell into that mindset too, and that's not my mindset anymore. My mindset now is if it's a fantastic train and I like it, okay, I may get the new one. But I am more looking now at pricing of these trains and kind of looking at it and saying, is it worth that much money? Because I see this a lot, actually. I see a lot of people will buy these, every single legacy engine that comes out, they buy them. You know, everybody throws a video up about them, right? A review and all this kind of stuff. And then 6 months later, they're up for sale, right? And typically, you're not going to make money on your sale. You're going to lose money. And I started wondering, like, why do people keep buying all this stuff and then they sell it 6 months later? You know, they regret what they, you know, bought because they're not going to use it, or it wasn't what they thought it was going to be, or they don't think it's worth it, or whatever the situation is, right? But now I'm much more picky about what I purchase. And I've actually trimmed down my collection quite a bit. I sold a lot of stuff off, and I'm more into steam now, less diesel at all. And so that's kind of where we're at. But what I really want to show you is that you can get a nice, great set mixing old and new together, and you don't have to break the bank. Now this one happened to be a really good deal for the engine. $300 for a PS3 H3 consolidation was a really fantastic deal. And those don't necessarily come along as much. But let's just say that I paid like the normal price for that H3 that would probably normal in the secondary market, about maybe $450 to $500 or something like that. Even that, if I did that and then $300 for the cars, you're still at $800, right? That's still much more reasonable than $3,500. Depending what the set is, etc. Now, granted, this is a small engine, but it still has all the main features a normal PS3 does, and it still is looks fantastic running around the layout. Look at our $300 engine here. See if it's really worth it. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed that video on how you can actually get some stuff off the secondary market, and then you can buy maybe some new stuff, combine them together, and you get a great train set that has a lot of cool features on it. And again, doesn't have to be the biggest and longest and most expensive set to have a great train running around your layout. Especially if you don't have the big curves and you need stuff smaller, you can see that there are things that you can get. If you just do some searches in train shows, secondary market, like you know, online sites and things like that, and then maybe you get one piece that is used and one piece that is new, combine them together, you got a great train set, and it doesn't cost a fortune. So I hope you enjoyed that, and think about that next time you go in and buying some trains. Do you really want to spend $3,000 on a train set, or can you find some older stuff and newer stuff and then come up with a great train set that doesn't make you mortgage your house? So yeah, so that's all we're going to be doing today. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and then put your comments down below about this video, and maybe even some combinations or deals that you've made. So let us know the kind of things you've come up with too. So as always, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace, guys.